Gaming will happen, right? It's a question of when, not if.
Today I sit down with one of the sharpest minds in crypto gaming.
As someone who studies and interacts with teams across the space, I can tell you
to talk best crypto gaming coins in 2024.
There are not one, two, a dozen. There are hundreds of games coming to market, hundreds.
And his strategy.
My thesis has always been front running and getting in before that hit
to find the best crypto gaming project. What are 5 to 6 gaming coins that you think are the strongest heading into next year? How crypto gaming has evolved, play to earn, in a sense, failed back in 2021. What's changed in 2024? And even some projects with 100x potential.
And those are your more 100, maybe even 1000x opportunities, right?
We also get an update on SuperVerse and Neo Tokyo. Watch the whole video, and let's start. How strong will the gaming narrative be for 2024? Crypto gaming.
Yeah, so I made a Bible for crypto investing on my channel. I highly suggest you check it out. I put a lot of work and effort into it. I did it about 2 months ago, and I essentially break down gaming into several categories and help people understand it. But once again, there has been no competition between sectors that have been invested in crypto. Besides, gaming outnumbers almost every other sector besides like infrastructure. So gaming will happen, right? It's a question of when, not if. There will be a hit game in crypto land. And that is an inflection point for the whole industry. So understanding that there will be a game that normies and normal people play and enjoy and, dare I say, love, and that will happen, and that will contain things like NFTs and coins. That will bring people into this world, and it will change and legitimize this whole industry. And so the real goal, like I said, is to front run attention and liquidity. My whole thesis has been this is an inevitability. Now, do I know if that super hit game happens in 2024? I don't know if it happens in 2024 or 2025 or 2026, but I do think that, in the next 1 to 3 years, there are so many amazing games coming to market. It would be very hard for me to imagine that things aren't much more interesting in crypto gaming than they are today. And so my thesis has always been front running and getting in before that hit comes out and really takes hold. And as someone who studies and interacts with teams across the space, I can tell you there are not one, two, a dozen. There are hundreds of games coming to market, hundreds. And of those hundreds, there's bound to be some amazing ones. I mean, there's AAA teams with 70, 80, $90 million in funding. These are not like your mom and pop, little in the garage games. These are not Nintendo DS quality. These are as good as it gets. And so predicting hits in a hits-driven business like gaming is very difficult. I can tell you, I know all the best VCs in the space. They can't tell you which ones are guaranteed to be a hit. But I can tell you on the whole, the industry has a lot to look forward to. And that's what I'm excited about.
And I personally know of Web2, name brand, mobile gaming, regular gaming companies that were about to deploy a crypto game or a Web3 game back in 2021, but they backed off real quick when they saw the community was turning. Play to earn, in a sense, failed back in 2021. What's changed in 2024? Because I've heard gaming will be big for a while.
Yeah, so there's a lot more exploration. I had a good conversation with Robbie at Immutable. Immutable X is essentially the biggest token in the gaming space and the biggest infrastructure play. So it's not just one game you're betting on. You're hoping that one of their stable of hundreds of games actually becomes a hit. And so Robbie had an interesting take that there's 4 things missing from gaming to really take hold. At first, it was the tech. That's been solved. Then it's now the onboarding tools for gamers. That's mostly been solved. You can put that as tech. You also have the model, right? So what is the model here for a crypto game? Should it be play to earn? Should it be free to play with items that you just get for free? Should it be, whatever it is? We haven't found the model that scales with Web3 yet, but there will be a game that comes out and it starts to work. It has the Fortnite effect where all of a sudden people go, okay, that's the way to run a gaming business in this new world. And people will emulate that and they'll start following in those footsteps. So the model is something that we haven't seen yet, exactly what people like. My position is that there will probably be several models that work, and play to earn at scale very well might work. Like think about World of Warcraft. If you could earn stuff in that game, there is so much passion and dare I say addiction to that game that people would play and earn within that game. There would be a way that they could get people playing for their World of Warcraft gold, right? That would work if the game was at scale, and it wouldn't have collapsed in a bear, I don't think. And so the question is really model, hits, when are they coming, and then finally content, right? When are we going to get our hit game? And so model and content are the things that we're seeing as the next final frontiers here for gaming. And once we see, I don't think play to earn just because Axie failed is necessarily dead. Like I said, there will be iterations on this and changes that will make it hopefully more sustainable. But we're going to see a lot of different types of models, some with play to earn, some without play to earn, some with play to own, some with no real meaningful ownership, but some, blockchain integrations. There's going to be a lot of different sort of, fiddling, and we'll eventually figure out where we land.
What are 5 to 6 gaming coins that you think are the strongest heading into next year, being infrastructure or being legit fun games?
Yeah, I want you guys to actually go, because I put so much effort into my gaming content on my channel, and it's really deep, and I want you to have a rounded sort of understanding here. But fundamentally, I just want to break down, there are infrastructure plays where it's actually technology that games are built upon. There are game publishers that are putting out multiple games, and those are your distributed bets where you get multiple sort of multiple bites at the cherry, and you're not actually letting it all ride on one single title. Then you also have game studios, which are mostly making one game, sometimes multiple, but in the end, probably one game. And those game studios are your more moonshots, right? They could go to 0 if the game doesn't work, or they could go to a bazillion. And those are your more 100, maybe even 1,000x opportunities, right? Axie Infinity did like 300x last cycle. And then you have your sort of launch pads, which is where you get access to early deal flow, things, I'm not going to name them, but those are the ways that you can kind of, once again, distributed early ways to get access to multiple projects. So those are the ways that you can kind of see the landscape. There's more niches, there's more sort of subdivisions if you want to go there, but very simply infrastructure, publishers, studios, and launch pads. And you can kind of understand the difference of, risk and reward across them. But what most people want is a way to just get involved generally with crypto gaming. And so looking at the top infrastructure plays is probably the easiest way for a lot of people to get involved with the industry. And I like I said, check out my crypto gaming sort of investment thesis. I make it very clear. I go into a bunch of them. Obviously, the market has moved a lot on those, but in the end, I think this stuff still holds true throughout the cycle.
I'll link that down below, but just as an example, like IMX, is that infrastructure? Or give me 1 or 2 examples of what you're talking about, but full video for you, link down below.
Immutable X, Beam, you have Ronin, Gala, and then there's a new token coming out called Ready Games, which has a bunch of games. There's a lot of these, but those are sort of 5 off the top of my head. I would love for you to actually go do deeper research on them. Immutable X is, in my opinion, going to be the first. It's not in my opinion, it's obvious. They're going to be the first top 20 gaming coin. And if they make it to the top 10, which I think is a possibility that there will be a top 10 gaming coin, and it looks like it'll probably be IMX. The next in line would be Beam. Those coins, and I'm an investor. Sorry, I'm an investor in all these coins I just said. I'm a holder. I'm actually a seed investor in Immutable X. Full disclosure, I make that very clear on my channel over and over again, but I want to make it clear here. So I am biased, right? I'm rooting for these, but they are the biggest in the market. Immutable X, if it makes it to a top 10, would effectively create a new ceiling. And things are, again, value is relative in crypto. So if Immutable X makes it to a top 10, then the next up gaming coins would reprice up below them, right? And so that's the kind of effect that I think will happen here as you start to see hits in gaming. Maybe the hit is on Immutable X and that game rockets, and then Immutable X rockets, and then all of a sudden the whole category will reprice. That's how this thing can kind of have these dynamic growth moments as Bitcoin grows, as the market continues. And so those are the types of things that I think could lead to dramatic different valuations in the space. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
I see one of the biggest communities in gaming is Gala Games. I'm not invested, but what are your thoughts on Gala into 2024?
Yeah, like I said, there's several different subcategories, and Gala would be in the infrastructure category and one of the bigger infrastructure plays. So in Ethereum, one of the things that I think I want to correct here, and one of the things I actually fully understand now, is that games are actually not competitive with each other. Not right now in crypto. Actually, they are collaborators. The more success that Immutable has, the higher Gala will move. The more success that Gala has, the higher Immutable will move. There is no competition here because they're not actually pulling from each other. They're pulling from the world as a whole. And the more gaming succeeds as a niche in crypto, the more every project within it will reprice up. And so there's no competition between these infrastructure providers. There's no competition between gamers or between actual games. Actually, what you want to see is any of these things succeed. And so I'm taking a very market neutral approach to this sector because I care so much about it, but I also understand it's a positive sum game, not a negative or zero sum game, meaning that as things grow, everyone will grow. A rising tide will truly lift all ships here. And so whether Gala has hit games or Immutable or Beam or whoever it might be, or Ronin, the Axie Infinity crew, all of these things are good for every single other project in the space. And that's what makes it such a special moment in crypto gaming, is that there's actually a unity. And my goal with my content and with my messaging is to help people understand that it's not about beard stroking and say, well, this genre is on decline and only has this many active users, and that genre is this. And well, their team didn't do this yet. Like, people find a lot of reasons not to support crypto gaming teams, and there's a lot of reasons why you could logic around it. But once you understand the actual dynamics of this market, you realize that it's one big market. It's one big group of developers all pushing relentlessly for the dream of bringing millions or billions of people on the blockchain. And it's a beautiful thing.
By the way, that's how I feel about crypto YouTubers, the quality ones. I want others to succeed because that brings up the space. Elliot, completely. What's next for Superfarm? I'm a SuperVerse. I'm an investor. I know since you're the founder, you can't talk, or you have to be more careful being a founder of a project talking about it. But what is next?
So the new version, or the new vision, I should say, for Super is going to be revealed early in 2024. There's a lot of pieces and a lot of hints of what's about to happen. If you sort of rewind and understand my view on what crypto gaming is today and how it works, you'll be able to piece together a lot of what might be coming. But in the end, my goal is to have Super be as helpful to the gaming movement as I can, to be as helpful to affecting the change, to bringing people onto the blockchain as I can. I think that that's the biggest service that I can do as a content creator, like you said, the way that we make content through the beer, the way that we build community. I think that that's the biggest service I can do for crypto. And I think that, Super, the way that it will be sort of shedding its skin for a new version here in 2024, that will actually reveal something that is in service of the larger movement more than it's ever been. And I'm really excited for that. I can't say more. Obviously, the foundation has been hard at work preparing for this. And I just think that, the community who's been rocking with this project deserves what's about to happen.
I did see that one of the major games for the SuperVerse, Imposters, made a major hire, a very legit guy from the Web 2 world. You guys made that public. Is the success of Imposters, does that go along with the success of SuperVerse?
Yeah, of course. So SuperVerse, the game of the SuperVerse is Imposters. Imposters just brought on a legendary game designer, a studio head named Rick Ellis. Rick actually prototyped and originally pitched the version 1 of Steam to Gabe over at Valve, and he was hired to come on and build this out, helped effectively revolutionize the game distribution industry. He also was a lead on Half-Life, worked on Counter-Strike, and then has come in, turned around, and shipped 9-figure games. He's a very, very accomplished person, and Imposters is very lucky to have him on board. He's now running the show there, and so the decisions made from here on out are under his remit, and I think that's the way it should be. And it's just exciting to see the ecosystem blossom, develop, and mature. So yeah, we're excited for what Rick's bringing.
Elliot, what is Neo Tokyo? And I have a friend who is a holder, who's a citizen, and he described it to me as this is his perspective, it's like the Soho House for the Illuminati of crypto gaming. Thoughts?
Yeah. So Neo Tokyo is I guess a brainchild of Alex Becker and I. And in 2021, we both were very passionate about crypto gaming. As you guys know, I've been passionate about crypto gaming since I met you guys in 2019 in San Francisco, and much before then. And when I explained the vision for crypto gaming to Alex, we both got very excited, and he, saw what was about to happen very clearly. And then things exploded with Metaverse Mania in 2021. And we looked at each other, we said, how can anyone keep track of this? We should build a community that's designed to sort of track and synthesize, understand, and help build and push forward this crypto gaming thing. And so we built a free mint project that actually ended up attracting the craziest community of all time because it was extremely hard to get into. And it's evolved into being essentially the place where the power brokers, the VCs, the developers, every major games studio in Web3 has joined Neo Tokyo. There's incredible networking. There's behind the scenes founders discussions. And there's over 100 projects that have been built by Neo Tokyo citizens serving in many ways the actual citizens with different utilities and different opportunities. And so Neo Tokyo is, in my opinion, the most interesting experiment I call it an experiment because it is still very experimental. It's been an incredibly successful experiment, but it's been an absolute pleasure to see this. It's truly decentralized in the way that it evolves and the way that it functions, and it embodies the Web3 ethos in almost every single way in that sense. But it really is the place if you are like a hardcore investor, hardcore power broker, you want to build something in crypto gaming. You come to Neo Tokyo, and the community is, you'll find people to help you build your project. You'll find people to bounce off of for ideas, whether it's, whatever you want to do in the markets. You'll find a community there, and you'll find support to help sort of catalyze whatever ideas or ventures you want to create. So it really is a community of builders, a community of sort of investors, power brokers, developers. It's a beautiful thing, and so I think the crypto gaming Illuminati Soho House label is definitely fitting, though it's on the way up, and Soho House is kind of dwindling.
It's true. Is there anything new for Neo Tokyo in 2024? I know it's largely like the community members do their own stuff, so it is decentralized in that way. But from the top, is there anything coming?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of games, almost all of them, have reached out and are doing trying to involve Neo Tokyo NFTs in some way in their games, and so you'll see a lot of announcements of stuff like that. There's a ton of citizen projects. One of the citizens groups have built effectively like a launch pad where they go out and market to games to get early access to project launches, and then they have their own way of letting citizens into those projects. Again, that's totally separate. Alex and I we don't run that or have any connection to that. But there's a ton of these projects that citizens have created, and so it really is. It feels like a movement, Neo Tokyo. When you are in the Discord, it really is a genuine movement around crypto gaming and the future of the metaverse. And throughout the bear market, we stayed, as a community, very mission driven, very mission focused. And the people who weren't mission driven, weren't mission focused, kind of churned out. And the people who remained are very, very steadfast in accomplishing these goals. And so you see a sort of forged in the fires of the bear community that is very, very ideological, and it's just a really cool place to be. I don't know. Obviously, I wish I could share it with everybody, but sort of by nature, it's a fairly exclusive place.
It wouldn't be cool if everybody was in.
Yeah, I guess.
Elliot, you are one of the, in my opinion, brightest minds for crypto gaming in general. I know you're one of the busiest guys in crypto, so thank you for sharing your time. I encourage the audience to check out your channel. But final thoughts on crypto gaming for the altcoin community?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've been working on now for about 6+ years. I won't stop until the job's done. And I'm very excited about what this cycle will bring. Nobody can predict the future exactly. But the way I see the lay of the land is that there will be a nonstop flood of new announcements, new reasons to be excited about crypto gaming for the next 2 to 3 years and ongoing. And that, to me, is a reason to be excited about attention and liquidity flooding into the space.